Hello and welcome to another English with Joseph. You can see here that I'm on the metro system. I'm at Battle de Sands and I'm changing for my own stop onto the blue line, which is Quai Blanc. Well, I thought I would take this opportunity to talk to you about a little piece of English grammar while I'm walking through the metro system. So today I would like to talk to you again about the importance of the use of the present perfect. Now I know that we've spoken about this many times, and I know that I'm a big fan of the present perfect, but what I need you to understand is the present perfect is not a choice. It seems that many immigrants are coming to the UK, and while they're doing that, they're deciding to always speak using the past tense. Now that's fine, of course you can speak any way that you want to make yourself understood, but it's ignoring the reason why we have the present perfect in the first place. And the reason why we have the present perfect in the first place is to express things which cannot be described by time. The present perfect first of all exists to talk about things which can't be measured. The past tense is about date, time, fact, start, finish. The present perfect is about action, thought, creativity. For example, joy, peace, happiness. You can't say, "Yep, I was in love yesterday and I'm not in love today." You can if you're talking about the small attachment style of love, but you can't if you're talking about the bigger things. Same with experience, you can't measure that. You can't say, "Yep, I got that experience on that day at 3 o'clock," because you really don't know when you received the experience you're talking about. So in these cases, you have to use the present perfect. If you're in doubt about that, what you can do is you can refer back to what the question would be. So for example, what were you doing on Tuesday? On Tuesday I was. How have you been? I have been fine. So when you go to make a statement and you wonder whether you should use the present perfect, maybe you should stop to think for a moment, okay, what would the question be? What question am I answering? For example, why weren't you at work yesterday? Oh, I was at the hospital. It's a question your boss would ask. He's talking about the timesheet. He's talking about how to manage you. Whereas your friend might say, "Hey, I missed you yesterday. How have you been? Are things okay? Because you told me that you weren't well in the past." And you could say, "I've been at the hospital." So one way to manage this is to decide, first of all, who you're talking to. Second of all, the type of conversation you're having with this person. And thirdly, what you're actually saying. And all of these 3 points will help you to decide whether to use the present perfect or the past simple. Now, of course, the present perfect has other uses as well, for about things that started in the past and are continuing. But generally, for things like the bigger things in life, joy, peace, happiness, etc., you will always find that the present perfect has to be used. Because if you say, for example, "Oh, my father died," okay, on Saturday. What did you do the weekend? My father died on Saturday. It makes you sound very hard. And if you always use the past tense, such as I did this last week, I did that the week before, I did this, I did that, it makes you sound as if you're very confident. And it makes you sound like you are boasting all the time. And that is not the kind of thing that you want, the kind of impression that you want. I've met many British people who've said, you know what, I don't like that Polish man, or I don't like that Russian woman, because always it's, I did, I finished, I completed. And they sound very confident and they don't smile. And there's nothing to do with that, of course. The problem is that they're simply not using the past perfect. The past perfect is a language where you can, or a tense rather, where you can simply emotionally bond with people. You can't do that with the past simple. You can't do that with the past simple at all. If you speak using the past simple, on Tuesday I went to the doctor, there's no room in that to say, how are you? Or how have you been? Because you've stated a statement of fact. And that statement of fact is only answering the question, what did you do on Tuesday? It's not answering the question, how have you been? A better way of stating, I was at the hospital on Tuesday, to your friend at least, would be, oh, I've been at the hospital. And then the person sees that you're stressing the importance of the action and not the time. The problem is the present perfect tenses don't exist in a lot of European languages. And this causes a problem. It causes a problem because people really don't know how to use them. And it's really very sad. It's really very sad because British people don't stop to analyse, to say, oh, he's talking to me using the past tense because he doesn't know how to use the present perfect. All they'll say is, oh, well, why is he telling me what he did on Monday? Why is he telling me what he did on Tuesday? Why is he telling me why or how he got that award 3 months ago? He's very confident and full of himself. And I also have experienced this in teaching. I've met some people that I've thought, I really, really don't like you. And I've had to stop and wonder, well, why is that? Why do I feel that way? And usually it is because the person sounds overly confident, purely because of the way that they speak. You know, if someone comes to you and tells you, I learned English when I was 16, then you would think, okay, why is your English not perfect now then? Why are we having this conversation? Why did you book a lesson with me? But if someone says to me, oh, yeah, I've been learning English since I was 16, then I would know that it's a work in progress, that the action isn't finished, for example, and that there's room for improvement. But if someone aggressively tells me, yes, I learned English before, I don't understand why I can't speak it properly, I would be talking to them about dealing with their emotions, because it sounds to me like perhaps the problem is not with learning, the problem may be with their attitude to learning. You know, so it's a very difficult thing, because many people don't know how language is linked to psychology. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say on the subject. So I would urge you again, if you don't have a copy of my little booklet, which is called A Guide to the Perfect Tenses, please do download it. You can get it on Amazon. I think at this moment it's still free in the Kindle bookstore. If you can't find it, or you don't want to pay for it, just write to me on Dailymotion and say, I want that booklet on the perfect tenses, and I'll send it to you if you give me your email address. Okay? So there we are. I just really want to reiterate again, if you're coming to the UK, or if you're an immigrant, please do use the tenses correctly, because there is a consequence, and that consequence is that you won't be able to make friends. Okay, that's all I want to say. Have a very good day, and I'm getting on the metro now, so goodbye.